and welcome to the half-assed episode to cover the half-assed data slate. I'm your host, Brad. This is my co-hosts, Eric and Bricky. Say hi, guys.
Pong.
Ping. We're covering the data slate today. It's the final data slate of 10th edition. Everybody rejoice. It was very high effort. Let's get into it. Bricky, read this amazing poll quote.
Yippee! With fantastic new content coming from detachments and supporting datasheets and expansions like the Maelstrom and Eye of Terror, this was an update we wanted to keep quite focused in scope. Overall, we are happy with the state of the game and are making a few targeted changes to key units that need bringing in line with their peers, or lifting up to a more suitable level through rules adjustments or points tweaks. We fed this through ChatGPT, and it gave us the best options for having a much more simplified version of this data slate.
Right?
I feel like that stopped being a quote partway through.
No, it was a quote. I just took some liberties.
Oh, okay. There's like a little ellipses in there, and then it's got like the brackets around it.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, so translation, guys, this is the end of 10th edition, and zero effort was put into this because everybody at GW is all hands on deck for in 3 weeks revealing 11th edition. So this is a low effort final balance pass, just like the last one in 9th edition was. Let's discuss the damage.
Sounds good.
All right, guys, I guess what major rules changes do we want to cover in the core rules first?
Oh, man.
I mean, do we want to talk about like the idea of this last update before a new edition? And like, yeah, 9th was pretty anemic when they did their last update. This one, we'll get to it, is pretty anemic. I've got thoughts on that. Do I have to hold it back?
No, let's rip the Band-Aid off. Let's talk first, and then we'll go into what the changes actually are.
Okay, so let's do we want to do a little over-under, basically.
Yeah.
Sure. I'll be top, you can be bottoms.
Power bottoms unite.
I actually am the power bomb. I generate most of the power. So, Eric, you first, because I want to hear what you have to say.
There are like two different ways that they could have gone about it. And I mean, they've obviously chosen this specific style, but like you can be safe and try and make the like last update be fairly well balanced and like clean, essentially. Or on the other side, you can have some rather risky changes that you could try out and see kind of what it would do without worrying too much about like, oh, this could be a problem for the next 2 years and we'll have to figure out how to undo it.
I have thoughts on that, though. I don't totally disagree with them not doing that on this data slate. My problem, though, is if you're doing that, you do it last data slate, which is basically what they did with Arks of Omen at the end of 9th edition. You want to have enough time where people are still interested in the edition so that you can test those changes. This is a lame duck competitive season. Like, this is, no one's going to care about anything post today because in 3 weeks, no one will care about 10th edition anymore. All coverage will go to, oh my god, new 40k, hashtag new 40k, hashtag we don't officially call it 11th edition, hashtag it's 11th though.
Yeah, right. So if we're gonna do the like not big sweeping changes kind of thing, then like the idea is try and make it as balanced as possible.
I'm with you there. There's no real excuse for half-assing it like this.
So it's tough because, you know, people joke about the whole thing of how Games Workshop really wants to price new models to be good and therefore sell, which is wrong. Just straight up wrong.
Yeah, it's real 50-50. It's just you remember the times it happened.
Yes, you never remember the times it doesn't happen, which is often. I'm sure there's a lot of Fire Strike servo turrets and Invader ATVs that are very, very dusty right now.
How great were all those Outriders in 9th edition?
Oh, yes. The thing is, though, is that at the end of the edition, there is kind of like a which way Western mail. Do you take the really simple and easy route, or do you just kind of say, go to town? Now, the cynical part of me says going to town is a cool way to sell a bunch of extra models at the end to people who don't know any better, because certain things get way better or whatever it is. But for me, my biggest issue is twofold. The first one is that the changes they did make are not very good. Even though they didn't make like any changes.
That I think is what I'm sticking to for my stand. What's here isn't great. I'm not going to argue too much for they should have gone crazy, because to play devil's advocate to the point of like, just go wild, it's the end of the edition. In 3 months, GW is going to want to do the rebalance for the beginning of an edition. It's the only time they can really get away with nerfing everybody across the board together and having minimal blowback from it. Famously, 9th edition, at the beginning of the edition, they repointed everything much higher so that then then they could dole out point decreases for the whole edition without getting complaints from everybody of wham, my model's more points now.
But is it actually? Could they not have done that in this particular, just 10% more points for every fucking model? People would bitch and complain, and then the new edition comes out and like you pull it back just a little bit and you're still at a net things are more expensive point cost.
That gets into the problem though, where like we don't know how much the game fundamentally changes on any level, like even on lower levels in 11th. Like let's say Fly gets fixed and Fly works like 9th edition Fly.
So you have to actually look at vehicles that can fly with the assumption that they work.
And like, do we point this model like it's going to be pointed when it gets that rule, or is everyone going to be pissed off for 3 months while this model's 300 points when it's 200 right now?
Here's what gets me specifically is that the last data slate we talked about was also anemic.
Yes, and that was the one I had more problem with because that's when you should have had your hog wild changes for the edition, and there was not much.
For me, it really just comes down to they had the choice to choose fun. And I mean, like, I don't mean fun as in like hog wild. I'm going to say this again, and I've said it every data slate for the last 5 data slates. Lord Marshal Dreer is 100 points, man.
It's a great example.
He's been 100 points since the Codex. And like, I'm just looking at all of the stuff that we have. Like, Tyranids are doing terrible, genuinely terrible. We couldn't like drop 30 points on the Toxicrene or something. There's so much internal balance that has not even been given a thought. And the things that were given a thought, were not given a very good thought. And we'll get to that when we talk about like Imperial agents.
I mean, that does bring up the idea though, like if you're going to do some small changes, maybe to try and make the balance a little better, do you actually care about the internal balance, or do you look at it the macro scale of just faction balance? Because like we're already kind of at the end, so like it's just go with the easiest, because we're at like not a terrible spot. Like Necrons are a bit of a problem, but like overall we're not too bad for balance at a macro level.
Putting a little bit lightly in terms of not too much of a problem, but I get what you're trying to say.
They've been over 55% but under 60 for the last since they got their detachment and their updated Catan.
While true, it's like a fake under 60 in the sense of like Catan can be handled by people who are like really good in tech specifically for Catan, but it kind of ruins the whole meta, like how Knights ruin the meta.
It's doing more damage at a casual level, correct?
Yes.
Which I do think we'll get into the Catan changes.
There were Catan changes?
Yeah, I know there's. The abuse cases were more eased up, and yes, technically every version of the list is slightly worse. You get at least one less unit to run, but
like Necrons, that particular one is the obvious example currently of it's warping the rest of the meta, not like in a ridiculous fashion, but it's noticeable. Like you have to, it's kind of like some knights when they're strong of figure out how to stat check deal with that or lose.
Yeah, it's very true. And it's why it's a frustrating one. Yeah.
Yeah. So like those are obvious ones that you want to try and fix balance wise, but like we'll get to if they did it or not. But like then do you just ignore the like internal balance of like let's try and make some of the lesser known detachments a bit better? Because like that could cause potential risks if you over buff it kind of thing.
The problem with Catan though, Eric, this is a terrible example for that because Catan's running 3 different viable detachments until this fixed some of the synergies it had.
No, that's why like Catan are the outlier. They're the problem. Other than that, what else do you do?
And I do think a lot of the problems with Catan did get solved in minor ways here. It's just enough is a real question.
I don't think it was at all enough at all, but we'll get to that when we talk about Necrons. The funny thing is that with this one, like earlier, it was even if they chose not to make a lot of sweeping changes, which I do disagree with, the changes they made, I still think are bad.
Yep, I am with you wholeheartedly. So do we want to like, let's start going into this and whining a bit here?
Yeah, this is a whining one. I'm gonna embrace my Warhammer centric player and just kind of complain.
Put on your Redditor pants. It's time to bitch a fit about small issues in my life.
I feel like the Redditor pants go both ways nowadays. I feel like they're just as easily to glaze the shit out of GW as they are to complain about them.
It depends entirely. It's echo chamber to echo chamber, but yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, let's do it.
So no core rules.
Yeah, big interesting core rule changes. Again, it's end of edition. This is the thing that is the least surprising on the list.
Except for Blood Angels can now be led, but like if we're doing core rule. I don't know where we get to this thing, but the only thing I was thinking is that anything that was changed in the actual data slate as opposed to the MFM is basically just a Blood Angel changes. Good old Sanguinary Priests can lead Blade Guard, which gives them +1 AP and a 5 Feel No Pain, which is like actually really good on a Blade Guard vet squad.
That Feel No Pain is kind of scary.
Yeah, that's like kind of saucy.
It's a good change. I like that change. It's kind of neat.
But I mean, it's neat. It's cool. It's great. AP3 Blade Guard, it's good. They're tankier. Like, there's absolutely nothing wrong with this. I'm sure in the Liberator Assault group or something like that, they'll be really, really good. But I guess I'm just kind of like, why did we? It's a very strange one, isn't it? Like, out of all the things to be added, it's a very odd one. It's so niche.
It does feel a little weird, yeah. It almost feels like it was changes that were supposed to be done previously that they've just forgotten about, and then it's been kicked down the road. And like on this one, they forgot to keep kicking it.
Yeah, this is almost the change that didn't need to line up with a data slate. This is your, oops, we forgot one of our FAQ updates or a RADA update that should have been done earlier.
It is genuinely a bit strange. I mean, it's not bad. It's good.
No, it's fine.
In fact, I almost argue that's actually quite solid. I'm pretty sure a Sanguinary Priest and Blade Guard, a 6 Blade Guard vet squad is like 250 or less. Like, you could really slam some stuff with that.
And at the same time, it's not like it's a meta thing right now, so buffing is just a pure win. More of this would have made everyone quite a bit happier.
Ironically, this is actually really bad into the meta because Catan just blunt the crap out of that damage so badly.
Yeah, but even, again, ignoring the meta part, just doing quality of life updates and fixes to factions that need it right now, that would have made this a lot easier to swallow as a nothing. Like, if you could be like, yeah, they did nice cleanup, though.
Like, this is good. To be clear, this is a good change that I think is good. Like, this is a cool internal balance change, but it wasn't, like, needed for the army. Blood Angels are pretty okay. And it also is just kind of random. If the whole data slate had things like this, I think we'd have a much better opinion.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. But like, because it's basically on its own, it feels random.
Just odd.
Yeah, good change, but just a little weird.
Just a little weird. Anyway, do we just want to get into... Oh, there's one more change. The Silent King can no longer have their auras affect Catan, which is good.
Yes, there was that one, and...
Necrosora Mentor can't either.
Yeah, that was the actual... I am pretty sure you just drop him in most lists now.
Necrosora, I don't agree, actually. I think he's nutty.
He's still good, but in the Catan abuse list, because he got point increased and he no longer synergizes with the Catan, which while he could do other things in the list, like I am aware that you could use him, like a lot of people, well, I don't want to get too into competitive shit, but there's other uses for him, but it's very possible that the actual answer is you drop him.
Yeah, probably. I mean, he still is like a lone op-ish, fights first, 6 attacks at 10-3-3, but I mean, he's probably drop him.
They basically destroyed any of the Star Shatter Legion stuff that Catan was doing. It's going to be much more common, in my opinion, for them to be played in the actual Catan detachment Pantheon now. That was one of the like insidious parts of Catan, was like, because they weren't banned from a lot of other stuff because they weren't good enough to matter yet, they started getting played in Pantheon, and then people started realizing that other detachments could do the job better without dealing with the enhancement costs and all that. So they kind of locked you down pretty hard to wanting the Pantheon detachment for them and just making them mediocre elsewhere, which should be how they are for the most part because they're big toys. And then you've got their dedicated detachment to focus on them. And then in that detachment, they got the most increases.
I think that was the obvious design when they made that detachment, was you could play the Catan outside of it, but like it's kind of just a cute idea that it shouldn't be too bad. But like if you really want to play them, play this detachment. It seems like it's closer to that now.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. It's kind of, let's just get into the factions one by one.
Sure. Sisters, no change.
Could there have been changes? Absolutely. No changes.
Custodes, you got your Custodian Guard appointed because they saw you spamming guard, and Imperial agents got a nerf for souping because of you. Congrats.
To be fair, the Custodian Guard were starting to not feel like Custodes.
They haven't felt like Custodes for like 2 years.
That was the complaint with the whole codex when we do our codex review.
Yeah, no, I mean, Custodians have not felt like Custodians for a while now. now. And yeah, the spam list was insane. The fact that Imperial agents caught that is insane to me. I can't believe that. Imperial agents finally were even looked at, and it was to nerf them more.
I have universally told everybody through the entire edition, I don't care about Imperial agents because the second one gets played, it will be nerfed. The point is to have it there and have the excuse. It is there. If it is playable, they will nerf it.
Yeah.
That is the only time they will look at it ever again. That is, if you play Imperial agents, you do so against all advice I've ever fucking given you.
It didn't have to be that way, but over the edition, it's obviously become that way because most of the time they make changes, it's to the soup numbers essentially, and then they ignore like the fact that it is an actual codex on its own. There's stuff that could be done there as well. Like it needs some help.
It was never planned to be a real army. They said, we need rules for these things. We'll throw them in a book and we'll forget about them.
Yeah, I mean the Inquisitor and Draxus up points make sense.
Dude, Draxus is like 110. It's insane.
So you stop running them instead of Custodes characters?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Mechanicus, whatever, no changes.
Yeah, Eldar, if you run a full Wraith list, like you go wild, you play Illidan, the blind guy from WoW. If you go hog wild, you get like less than one extra unit in points. Congrats.
So Eldar will always have the problem of their win rates lower than it should be because of Eldar, etc. But for a lot of people do think that Eldar are struggling a lot. And then them being like, okay, end of the edition, here's a couple of points for your Wraith units. By the way, fuck you, Azerman. Specifically, Azerman went up the same amount that Catan did. It's insane to me.
What am I missing there? Like that seemed unnecessary.
Because I think his move lets him get back in transports, and it's the only one that can still do that after their major nerfs. I think I might be wrong.
Even then,
They're getting the Viper. Is there any change on the Viper that makes him interact with it in some way?
Nothing any of the new units have done that makes any. So the new Uriel and Corsairs have some pretty neat new attachments and stuff like that, and their data sheets are cool.
I love the Corsair stuff. I haven't even read the Viper.
It's the Viper. It's like it's got some like nice quality life stuff and things like that. But like, no, not really, dude. Azerman just kind of ate this.
the points drop on the Wraith models though. Like it's not much, but it's like, hey, that's kind of neat.
Unfortunately, Wraith data sheets hit on 4s, and so I just won't think it matters.
Yeah, because they suffer from the technically I'm a construct thing like Necrons got, where it's like, oh, all of our constructs hit on 4s and then the Technomancer makes them hit on 3s again. It's just a weird character tax thing because they want to do that with the things without dedicated brains, even though with Necrons that gets into a whole thing. But
Also, if they're gonna do the Wraith models, don't ignore the Wraith Knight. Come on, just give it. It was never a problem.
face a Wraith Knight versus a Catan currently.
Yeah.
You will pay more and die quicker.
It's definitely facing the sins of earlier in the edition.
It really is. Again, this is what people wanted with Catans. Put it in the fuck you zone where it's an unplayable pile of shit for the rest of the edition. Like, there is what is correct and there is what fucking Redditors thirst for blood moment. But the Wraith thing is like, if you wanted every faction to get this type of shit where they look at one of your unrepresented wings and go minus 10 points across the board to this wing, try to make something work at the end of the edition, that could be fine. I don't think it's a great healthy thing to do in general to just randomly drop points on shit until everyone runs 5,000 models because they have terrible rules. But like for an end of edition Hail Mary pass, maybe you do this in every faction and people might have taken this better.
If you're trying to make the end of the edition as balanced as possible, especially internal balance, that is absolutely what you do, because you don't change like core rules. You just look at what the core rules are and be like, this is what that should cost to be balanced with the other ones. If it's not thematic from like whatever, then we'll fix it in the next edition.
Can we just all agree that the absolute highlight of the data slate is the Eandon color scheme in the article though? God damn, it always goes so hard.
You like the yellow and the blue?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're going to have to keep that one to yourself.
We're Michigan boys, baby.
It does go pretty well.
Oh, I think it looks
The
ugly.
maize and blue, baby.
I think it looks ugly as hell. It looks like a damn sports team.
Yes, it does.
The joke is it is a sports team. University of Michigan.
Well, maybe if they looked at the Lakers, it would be different. Guard. The Rogaldorns went up because they're good, and they already had the Grizzle Company nerf.
Yeah.
Grizzle Company is still the best attachment because it works with your whole army and everything else doesn't.
It's almost like someone said that when they revealed it of, hey, isn't this just the best guard detachment now?
I think I'd maybe said something like that. Who knows?
So it's like still obviously the best.
Yeah, and
Okay.
and the Dorns are still really good. Honestly, though, like the Dorns are good. The Dorns are already good.
The Dorn point changes once again show the like we said last time they did this, of like the you don't understand why everyone takes the Dorn. It doesn't matter that it costs slightly more points again. It's still doing the job best. You've just made the list tighter and we're not dropping the Dorn here. We're dropping something unrelated to it.
The Lehman Russ tank commander is like the skeleton at the bottom of the pool.
Yes.
Why would you even? Lord Marshal Dreer is in a grave. Like, there is just also, I'm pretty sure Recon Guard is the strongest way to play Guard, even with Grizzled, because having like a bajillion OC4 bodies is absolutely abysmal to deal with. And nothing like that was ever touched, which is a little shocking.
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe there's an amount of let's have the players balance that kind of thing of like, if you play against anybody like that, never do it again. Tell them they are wrong.
And to be fair, it's like when we get to Thousand Suns in a minute, it's not a problem. It didn't need to get kicked in the balls in any real way. It's not top of the meta, and it likely won't be the top of the meta after these changes. So who gives a shit? We've got weeks left.
So, I mean, though, like, have you guys fought Recon Guard?
No, who the fuck has it?
So it's kind of insane. So they have a 6-inch reactive move, and they also have a -2 to charge strat. So if you sit your butt 1 inch away from me, I can turn that into a 9-inch charge. It's actually like the most infuriating thing ever because you're also like guard infantry and they still shoot you kind of hard if you let them.
Yeah, that's my counterpoint though of like what meta army right now wants to charge. Custodes?
Quite a few, actually, I'd say.
Most of the ones doing well right now are trying to counter Necrons right now and are just shooting based.
Even more so because countering Necrons means you're not countering Recon Guard. It's a whole thing. Anyway, Black Templars, nothing. Wait, did the Crusader Squad go down a little bit?
They got a point drop,
They gave 10 points off Crusader Squad. Woo.
but only the big Crusader squad.
Isn't that what they were already like doing okay with Bastion Task Force?
I don't care, man.
Okay, whatever. Blood Angels, Asterath is down. They can lead Blade Guard. Yippee! Not Asterath, the other guy.
Blood Angels, thumbs up. It's like one of the few ones that's actually pretty fine here. Demons. Yep. Kairos and Lord of Change went up minorly. We can move on.
I guess this was expected, whatever.
Honestly, I feel like it wasn't as much as I expected because like Kairos is only up 10, Lord Change up 15.
I was actually never really scared of the birds. I know they shot hard, but
Yeah, no one's taking tournaments down with demons right now, unless I miss news. But we're like middle of the pack, totally fine. There's nothing really to do with us.
I wouldn't go that far. I'm pretty sure Scintillating Legion birds were actually doing quite well.
Pretty sure they're doing just fine.
But I'm saying like it's a whatever right now. Unless you're like dumpstering all the top factions, then you might need to do more here.
Yeah.
I like this part here in the show notes that says, at this point, Borrelia decided to stop adding army shots to every faction page. Like, even Borrelio gave up, and this is on Chaos Knights.
Yeah.
As we record this, Borrelio is doing all the pre-work, so you all get this like immediately upon him getting it and fixing our ability to speak in post, and then you guys all get it like the next day. Please do the YouTube pleasantries, and in addition, give Borrelio some love because he has spent the entire day hashing out a video for this before he even gets the audio to figure out what the video is about mostly.
Unless he screws up the syncing, then light him on fire.
Yeah, if he screws up the syncing, fuck that guy. I'm mad about that.
Chaos Space Marines.
You know, I'll give them a flavor bonus where now if you want to run Renegade Warband, you can't take like Marines and stuff like that.
I have the counterpoint though. I did see someone complain about this somewhere. I don't know if it was Reddit or if it was on a random fucking post, but someone was like, oh, we suddenly care about flavor, but I can put Abaddon and Vashtor and 2 other named characters together leading a horde of cultists, and that's a fine list. But now we care about it because someone was going to make Noise Marines good.
You're like not entirely wrong because it was the fact that Noise Marines were really good in that,
Yeah.
group.
No, it's like suddenly we care about the deep lore. It's not just a balance thing.
It's again, CSM got like nothing. There's like a Renegade Warband change for the enhancement. That's it. It's like, it's nothing really.
I do think that it was a decent answer for balance to make it so they can't take the Cult of the Dark God unit. Like, it works and it solves a potential problem.
It does. It's just hypocritical.
Yes, it is.
Dark Angels, nothing. Death Guard, 15 on the Wing Prince. You're not going to see it anyway. Death Watch, nothing. Actually, a little shocked by that one. I thought the Fortress kill team was going to go up, but oh well.
Drukari, we got points drops on things that no one has played and no one will play. Let's move on.
Ember's Children, Flawless Blades, and Terminators are down.
Okay.
I guess.
These are the cheapest Terminators in 40K right now, right?
And they suck.
They do suck. Yes, they do. They're the worst Terminators. They're not real Terminators. They're awful. But like, there is a point where they're so fucking cheap that it's good, right?
What's the body cost?
Their rule is they have to shoot all their shots at one unit, and if they do, they can re-roll the charge against them.
Yep.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
It's especially funny because it's like you get to re-roll the charge that you just made harder by knocking off their
By killing them, yeah.
models.
Like, it is cheap, but
It reads like -1 to charge, but re-roll.
I mean, I do like the Flawless Blades being cheaper. That is good.
I mean, yeah, that is good.
They're like a core part of the army that seems like they could use a little bit.
Tormentors down is like cool, I guess. Waiter, 3 more Winged Demon Princes, please.
Emperor's Children needs rules stuff, and they were clearly not doing that. So
Genestealer Cults, no changes to technically the highest performing army of the week. Just saying.
I'm going to say 2 things. I'm going to say, yes, GSC are actually better than they appear, and simultaneously, it's a fluke.
And 5 people play it, yeah.
Yeah.
and also, if you're worried about making potential problems at the end of the edition, don't touch Genestealers.
Do not touch Genestealers if you're
Yes,
worried
that's
about
so
problems.
true.
They're the easiest one to fuck up.
GW has never screwed up Genestealers. See the 4 Horsemen episode we just recorded.
Eric, yeah, Grey Knights, buddy. How you feeling? You excited for your new meta?
I mean, Terminators down.
Oh, fuck you.
It's not much, but
Co-partner.
like, I mean, we have a potential reason to take them over Paladins now in like a weird way. Like, I would rather just have the Paladins do their job, but like, yeah, no. I mean, I'm trying to like justify it in like an internal balance kind of thing. I just think Terminators are not good.
Grey Knights falls under the same thing that several factions do, where like points aren't fixing Grey Knights.
No, absolutely not.
Just like Custodes, points aren't fixing Custodes because Custodes' problem is the same as AdMech early this edition, and Custodes most of the edition, though it was less egregious, so everyone didn't scream at once to actually get it changed, which is the rules don't match the ideal version of the faction. That's the actual problem, but you're not getting that in a last-minute data slate. That's going to be handled next edition, you fucking hope.
And it's one of those that like, if you want, you know, your elite unit, Paladins just do it better, and you're willing to spend a decent amount more points so that you then just kind of ignore the Terminators and run strikes. You save the points cost in other places to make sure that you're getting the best to do that job. So clearly they understand the Terminators are not good, but like, doesn't fix it.
Imperial agents, let's just not, man. I can't believe they went up. It's so ridiculous.
It's only in soup, which I don't care. Like, it doesn't
I
affect
know.
the faction. It affects other factions, and the faction that was abusing it is exactly what I told you every time someone plays an Imperial agent model.
There's so many ways they could have done it better than this. They could have just made a Custodes only moniker on the guard thing. I don't know. It's just kind of insane.
It's also just hilarious looking at some of the points cost difference between soup and not. Like, Draxus is now 110, but if you're in Imperial Agents, 75.
That's insane. I didn't realize it was that much of a discrepancy. Holy crap.
There's some fucking wild ones that are like, oh, you were the problem.
What is it actually worth versus what is it worth to a different faction if it had access to this unit?
Yeah.
Imperial Knights, they're down a little, whatever.
I'm way more interested in what the new knight's going to be.
Yes.
Like, that matters so much more than the data slate.
That's such a cool looking model.
I love the new frame, but I also, as an owner of a castigator, rip bozo to anyone who bought a 30k knight at any point. The reveal of those models as I scrolled through that article was the, oh shit, we just got the slightly legally distinct 40k version of this so that they can argue that they want you to buy this instead of the 30k variant. And like going through, I'm like, holy shit, they even got like all of the variants. So like, it's the whole Cerastus frame redone for 40k, and then it gets down to the size comparison, and I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, some of the perspectives were a little.
We made it spitefully smaller so that your Cerastus Knight will never be playable. There is no way you're proxying it into this thing.
Yeah, I mean, like 10 points on the big knights are literally nothing. Like those, yeah. Votann.
Brandfast got a small change.
You got your new character. He's ass.
I don't go that far.
For the points, he's ass.
Maybe. Barrack Stormbrow. I think 110 is too much, but I don't think it's too much by like a lot. Because the dude actually slams really hard.
Yeah, for 110 points.
110's a lot. I mean, obviously, like, Free Heroic is whatever. Sus 1 is good. 4 up Feel No Pain is actually a lot stronger than I expected, and I kind of forgot about that.
Actually, yeah, that's actually all right. But, like,
he does, I mean, if you do the sweep, he does get 8 attacks at 722. 8 is a lot.
Yeah.
And then he gets 2 extra attacks at 621. And then obviously his main one is 1024. I think he's probably like a 95er, maybe. But he does slam.
I don't know. If we go by Tau, he's like maybe 40 points.
we'll get to fucking Tau. We'll get to Tau, okay?
He can also lead the Berserks. Honestly, putting him with a group of 5 seems pretty good. I don't know the exact. I'd have to do some math to figure out if like 10 just works better. But like him in a group of 5 seems like you can do a lot of damage to whatever you need to. But yeah, 110 points is quite a bit for Votann.
So Necrons, we kind of already discussed it, but let's go into it just a little bit here. In Star Shatter, they did some monster exceptions so that you can't make your Catans even more annoying. As Bricky said earlier, Silent King no longer gets to boost up the Catan. We also have Necosaur isn't able to do the Catan anymore, so they got that nerf. And then point-wise, if you're playing them in Pantheon, which is basically the only place they're getting any real buffs now, they went up by the base 10 that they went up everywhere, and then the enhancements went up another 15, so it's 25 per Catan. That's still not as much as you think, because it's not like the original list that started winning, where it was like blast for Catan. A lot of them have pulled back on Catan a little bit and just gone with like doing true best they can, so that you're not actually losing as much as you think you are. And I really think the answer is going to be possibly just dropping Necosaur.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that might be the case. You might just swap out like some kind of middling warrior or something squad for just something a little bit cheaper.
The problem is the warrior squad in that list is really necessary for...
No, I don't mean that. I mean like maybe you drop like some kind of random like tech piece or like some random infiltrating like flame.
Necrosaur is basically a tech piece in that, which is why it's like I think just because that also 820 points, that might be the drop.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest. I feel like the best Necron list was, I mean, so we saw a lot of Pantheon, we saw a lot of Star Shatter.
Yeah, Star Shatter became by far the better one of the two, which I'm glad that they hit Star Shatter.
I genuinely feel like the best list now is going to be Awakened with the 20 brick and 2 Catan, and then like your spattering of Scorpex and other kinds of character based stuff. And I still think Necrosaur is going to be in there. And so I think the list has gone up like 40 points. I genuinely think Necrons are unscathed, like almost entirely.
Yeah, the list you're talking about went up exactly 60 points. The one that I was looking at, a tournament winning version of that one went up exactly 60 points. You have to figure out where you're cutting.
Honest to God, I'm like, it's not enough. Like it's just straight up not enough.
Point is, like, Necron's got a love tap, just like Death Guard did, where it's like best thing, annoying people, got a love tap. It's going to be either the best thing or in the top 3 best things still, and it's going to continue annoying people.
The real problem is that like it didn't fix the irritation with going up against those Catan lists and not having an answer.
Yes.
Fully agree.
Like, because you're not going to drop a Catan in that like 60 points. You're going to drop something else that's, you know, supporting it or whatever. So you're still having that stat check problem.
I think part of it is people, because they remember the Catan because it's the big annoying thing in your face, like literally distraction card effects thing of people remember them. We dropped half the Catan already because we just kept too good Catan to abuse. The list has already corrected.
I mean, it's because people have adapted to it.
So that you can't just easily be like, fuck you, Catan, because like the list has already adapted around it partially. I think it needed more angles played with more than anything.
Maybe I'm of the opinion that there's a time for over nerfing and under nerfing. This was a time for over nerfing.
Sure. Again, it's end of edition. I don't really care.
Well, that's kind of the point, is that like Catan, much like Knights, ruin the overarching meta, and it makes it so that everyone has to tech for it. I would have rather them substantially nerfed them in a method that made them not force everybody to tech for them, because that just sucks. Like I was like, sorry, pay the sin, pay the price, like, and then just kind of go from there, because at least at that point, everyone else will have a bit more fun. And it's not like the Necrons Catan build is the only Necron build. Necron's got pretty good diversity.
Yeah, Necrons have honestly, we've had a good addition. As much as I hate certain aspects of that codex, it's been a pretty good addition overall for Necrons.
Yeah, we've been riding high. There's always been something good, and yeah, so it's just not enough. I guess it just feels sad because everyone's gonna have to suffer until 11th with Catan spam still, and like it would have been nice to have gone out a little bit more enjoyable.
There's also the problem thinking forward of when the new edition comes out, Catan are probably going to be unplayable because it's going to be in people's mind, and you do not fuck that up at the start of the next edition. So they're probably going to get, you know, the Wraith Knight treatment right now of like, yeah, they're like 450 points and they lost a bunch of stats on their sheet. So
at the same time, as a Necron fan, this is literally, you're describing Catan. They're like the core example of this. They're only ever total hot garbage, the like absolute meme of a unit, or oops, we accidentally broke it for 10 minutes.
This is genuinely where I think we need to make a change to the core system of 40k, where you have an escalating cost for rule of 3. 1 Catan costs whatever, 2 Catan.
Oh yeah, that one's more complicated because they're named, so it gets weird. But yeah,
but like you could just keyword it, I suppose.
Yeah, no, that is a good example.
Yeah, it's the like Catan hate each other, so every time there's another Catan,
add 15 points to it or something. I don't know.
You could probably do it as a more generic rule in general for just stopping people from doing epic hero spam lists if you hated that. But I don't know if you hate Super Friends as an option for certain factions. Like I kind of liked 9th edition Tau when sometimes you would see people play Taucast instead of Viorla, and they would do Taucast named character spam because they had like 7 named characters and they were pretty good if you stacked them all. It was cute. I don't hate the idea of Super Friends being a thing. Again, if you want to fight that, you can easily flavor it as like every epic hero, because it becomes less likely this is a situation, they just start costing more the more you add.
Yeah.
Ahriman and Magnus are here together. This is sus plus 50 points.
You know what else is sus? No changes to orcs. Laughable.
Yeah.
Can't believe that. Orcs are so middling.
I mean, that's generous.
I will, because Warhorde still wins some things here and there. So
it's extremely funny though saying that. It's the 40k player ADHD, no fucking goldfish memory type shit, where it's like orcs are unplayable. How could they not buff orcs? Orcs' fucking data slate page is as long as goddamn Eldars because of how much shit they broke over the edition with them. It's just they had to keep on emergency patching every detachment they wrote.
I mean, you're not wrong, but also
we're here now in the modern day, and right now they suck ass.
It's not the worst. Like they're not at a point that like they're unplayable. Like you can still play them and have fun.
But less than the best list of orcs is ass. The second you stop running Gaz, the second you stop running like a couple of units, you fall apart.
Yeah, there's some problems with that, but they're going to be the little brother army for 11th though, so it's going to be great.
I fucking hope not. I really hope it's Drukhari.
That's why they didn't make any changes, bro. Because they know that like in a couple months, all the Arc players are going to be like, yeah!
So I'd like it to go on record to say that we are ending the edition, and Ultramarines still have +1 to wound on their oath.
They really do, don't they?
They really do.
Redemptor Dread died for these sins.
Calgar, and also they killed Calgar and old Cato Sicarius.
No, they killed the Changeling who was secretly the second Calgar.
Oh, and also the other Changeling that was secretly the original Captain Sicarius.
Yeah. They're like, wait a second, that's not what he looks like now? Yeah, bro, Space Marine players, I don't give a shit right now. You're all going to get shiny new rules in 15 minutes, and you will be the opening problem of next edition as you are at the opening of every edition. And then it will be a roller coaster of whining about how your favorite sub-factions, one model isn't as good as Ultramarines, one model. I don't give a shit right now with the problems everybody else faces.
Yeah, Lieutenant with combi weapon up 15 though. Hey, let's go. Space Wolves?
Space Wolves, the big change. We've got merch.
Yahoo!
It goes out of the store in less than a month. Get your merch.
Poorhammer.com.
Yippee!
Wolf Girls, you love them, Space Wolf players, a lot more than you love these data slate changes. Right now, go get it. So it's time, Bricky. We're at Tau.
Wow. So okay, let's start. Okay, right. Stealth battle suits going down 10 is very reasonable.
Sure.
Tau's winning a lot with Monka right now, actually. However, like the stealth battle suits, they did that thing where like they became 5 and way too many points. That kind of stupid. It's like going back down. That's cool. Cool. Me being like Noah or whoever or like God in Family Guy, on like the Ark and being like, hey, what the fuck is this? Pointing to like the elephant, like ostrich mixture.
Yeah.
160 for like, granted, like I'm glad they're good because they're sick as hell, but 160?
Bricky, what do you mean? It's just toughness 6, 16 wounds, 4 up invulnerable save, scout 8, reactive move to bounce halfway across the goddamn board every single turn, melee guns, which I love. I love melee guns. It's my favorite part of this data sheet.
Gun Fu is pretty cool. I do like that a lot.
We need
actually.
more gun kata in the fucking Tau Empire. If we're not gonna get our laser swords we deserve, we need some fucking guns in melee doing John Wick bullshit.
Yeah, the Twin Lance data sheet here is really strong. And then you look at the points and you're like, you fucked up.
No, they didn't fuck up, Eric. This is clearly a worse unit than taking 2 of the new Tyranid model.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is insane because like there's always that statement, right, where you're like, okay, you know what? Here's the thing. Let's do this for a second. Do you want to do Thousand Suns, Brad?
Sure, Thousand Suns, no real changes. Kairos and Lord of Change went up.
Awesome.
Really happy that Thousand Suns did not get kicked in the balls for no reason because we hit 51% win rate again. I know that took restraint, GW.
Very good. Okay, let's move on. Tyranids, nothing.
No. Tyranids got something.
No, nothing in terms of point changes.
Okay, fair.
Okay, so Tyranid Prime with Lash Whip, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Tyranid Prime with Lash Whip. Okay. It has a very serviceable combat profile. I'm gonna give it that. You have to pick one of them, but they hit on 2s. They get sustained 1, so they're basically like hitting on all. That's awesome.
Just shout out to it for being able to fucking lead the battle line units for once.
Yes. That is honestly so
Tyranids
nice.
got a leader for battle line units. 5 seconds left in the edition.
So a few things. The winged Tyranid Prime, the one with wings,
Yeah.
is 65. Now it has 6 attacks at 612, which is not as good as this guy. That's 6 attacks at 622, plus like some variants. They both give sustained 1. This Tyranid is like the Lash Whip one has a better armor save at a 3 instead of a 4. They both give sus, and the new one can lead like Hormagaunts and stuff. This is awful, man. Like this is embarrassing. This is more than a Watchmaster.
I loved the fact that one of the patrons, when they revealed this, was like, wait, this seems a lot better in most cases than the winged Tyranid Prime for what you want to lead with this. What are they going to do? Make it cost more than 60 points? Because that seems weird. And then they made it cost 85 fucking points.
Yeah.
This is like the Wind Tyranid Prime is not good. It is almost only played in Vanguard Invader stuff.
Yep, because it has the tag.
Tyranid Warriors are not good.
Which is very depressing.
Yes, they're actually like quite not good, which is very sad. If you wanted to do Vanguard Invader or even the Warrior Bioform Onslaught one,
I was waiting for you to bring it up.
Specifies Winged Tyranid Prime.
That's what I was going to bring up. The final kick in the nuts of, oh, I'm glad they didn't touch my Thousand Suns. It's really nice. Hey, you forgot to touch Tyranids. You added the new model, but you forgot that there's no like tag for the Tyranid Prime character. It's not like add a Tyranid Prime of some type. It all specifies Winged Tyranid Prime, the whole fucking detachment.
Oh my god, it does. I had to go check because like you brought that up and I'm like, that doesn't seem right. There's no way.
If it was properly implemented like all the other things, it would be Tyranid Prime and then it would be lowercase with wings. And this would be Tyranid Prime lowercase with Lash Whip, because that's how it works with all of the other stuff like lieutenants and all that shit.
Because it's just like the Tyranid Prime and then all of its iterations that are needed. Yeah, that makes sense.
This is embarrassing, dude.
That is embarrassing.
This is actually embarrassing. Not only does it not work with the detachment that it's named after, it also is horribly pointed, just terrible, mind you, more than it has any right to be. And it tends to lead stuff, warriors and things that are also bad. Meanwhile, like we try to do that thing, right? We try to do that thing where we're like, not every faction, if you add this to this faction, means the same thing. It's all in context, right? However, if you sliced the Twin Lance in half, if you
Sold.
took only one of the two people, it would be 5 points less than this guy and be insane.
Every Tyranid player would be running everyone you could.
Oh yeah.
If they, like obviously the Twin Lance, they have the retro thrusters, and that's by far the best part of this data sheet. 'Cause
The
it's
retro
insane.
thrusters was they accidentally put 160 and not 260 when they put that goddamn rule on there.
Or they forgot to put like was eligible to fight or something.
Yeah,
like it had to be in combat.
The retro thrusters is not fucking okay.
No, it's not.
It does feel like there's an FAQ that needs to be done to retro thrusters in some way.
Or the one was accidentally a 2. And even then, they're just going to be Catan 2.0 where they're just toxic as shit.
I mean, I would not pay 260 for this. I would pay like I think like 225 is when it gets too much.
Yes, it's realistically 215, 220.
I would say maybe like 210, 200.
Sure.
I'd like to see it
It's
first.
a Redemptor Dreadnought at least.
I need to get rid of retro thrusters first. That like I could erase that whole thing and still pay like one.
And these are probably still 160 or 150.
No, I wouldn't lower it. I'd go higher. They're 8 wound, 2 up, 4 ups.
They still have Scout 8
Yeah, it
though.
is 16
Like,
wounds still. It's still 16 wounds.
there's a lot of movement going
They
on
do have
there.
scout. Also, they have deep strike, which means
Yeah.
they can ingress.
They're extremely mobile.
Also, you can like, can you imagine how awful it would be for you to like go make a charge against these people? They hit you with the battle shock check, you fail it,
Yeah.
and you act like roll like a 3, and you can't CP it because you're battle shocked. Like this is just so infuriating what this thing can do. Yeah, the Twin Lance is pushed, which is unfortunate because like it looks awesome as hell.
It does.
And this is kind of what I think Tau battlesuit should feel like. But oh my god.
No, yeah, absolutely. That's the thing is like more of Tau battle suits should feel really cool and awesome, and they should be point costed appropriately. They shouldn't just be 50 points or whatever nonsense. Like 160 points is not okay. Make it more and show these cool units off. That makes sense. But like they made the cool sheet and then priced it like it was the rest of the garbage in this army.
We had a serious conversation about them and moved on, and I forgot my follow-up joke that I was going to do.
Oh right.
It doesn't matter how pushed they are because Farsight is still taller.
That's okay, I guess.
Farsight flexing on them. He's so tall.
Yeah, one of them has like its arm up though.
Yeah, when they're next to each other though, you're like, Farsight is so proud of the fact that his battlesuit has longer legs.
Yeah, but like, dude, 6 shots at 833, hitting on 2, sustained, ignores cover. Oh my god. That's on one of them.
I'm just happy that they got the melee guns. I really want to see that in Tau.
It's unfortunate because I'm like looking at this data sheet, right? You could delete the charge roll and retro thrusters from their data sheet. Just delete those two. Just keep the sus and ignores cover. And this is still like a 180 unit. Like it's still really good.
Yeah, it's also the kind of unit that so long as it's pointed well, this is the kind of thing that if you're good at playing Tau, you can win games based on this just because of how mobile it is with the weapons that it has. I mean, it does, like, it's not just going to fold to random fire. It's got a 2-up save, 4-up invuln. And then Tyranid Prime with Lash Whip.
It's equally as good. 3-up save, no invuln, 6 wounds, doesn't bounce halfway across the board every single fight phase.
It's insanity. I cannot believe this is happening. Like at least like the Votann guy, you're like, okay,
Yeah.
you know, drop it like 10 to 20 maybe. But holy.
The Votann one's in the realm of like, all right, you had an idea and like maybe it is right, maybe it needs to be dropped a little bit, but like we're in the right ballpark. Yeah, the Tyranid and Tau one. Oh boy. How about World Leaders though?
Forge Fiend discount, huge. Oh my god.
Down 5 points. That's insulting.
This is where GW has the no-win situation though, of like, this is exactly what we talked about, where it's like, just sprinkle on some points down. Obviously, that's such a easy thing to do everywhere. It's like, you sprinkle down some points down in a couple factions and we make fun of you for it.
Yeah, but if you're gonna do that, do it to the rest. We've went through like several factions already that are like literally nothing.
Yeah.
Like if we're gonna have these sprinkle points down somewhere, like World Eaters, fucking 5 points on Forge Fiend, do it to the other factions that had literally nothing.
Eric, would you have a heart? Imagine the one intern who wrote this whole data slate over the weekend. I did love we were talking about it yesterday when we streamed. We streamed, by the way, over on Poorhammer on Twitch. Yeah, see, I can shout things out. I can be an adult. But we were talking about it on stream, but like, man, it's weird. We've had like no leaks of any like clout at all. Like no good leaks for this data slate. Well, we found out why.
This is just like, it's just bad. Like, that's the thing. That's the thing that gets me the most, right? Is like, I can think of the changes that were done to nerf things were not enough. There were nowhere near enough buffs for lots of underseen stuff. So internal balance is all off. There's like one or two decent changes, like the Blood Angels one.
Yeah.
And then of the 3 data sheets that they come out with, the Votann Berserk is too high. The Tyranid Prime is way too high and doesn't work how he should. And then the Twin Lance are absolutely broken as shit. Like, we're batting like 1 out of 10 here. It's really bad.
Yeah.
We should just buff Genestealer Cults right before the new edition. I think that's the
It would
best
be
course.
funny, wouldn't it?
We should just give them double the reserve points. Screw it, man.
Change the core cult ambush army rule completely. Let's just
One
redesign
last
it from
time
ground
for
up.
old time's sake.
Yeah.
It works totally different. Here's your 15 paragraph long data slate change.
I mean, honestly, it could work.
Then in 3 weeks, when they show off 11th edition, they immediately tease a core rule change that makes it so there's no possible way it could function with that core rule.
Yeah.
That's the like peak comedy moment.
Oh, shit, man.
Do you have anything else to say?
Nope.
Because, like, I got nothing.
This is a short and sweet one, guys. There was not much to talk about. It's the end of the edition. This is where 10th edition will freeze at.
I can only hope that all the like game designers and stuff like that normally deal with this stuff are so busy making the new edition and the next like year and a half of the edition just amazing, because clearly they're not working on this.
I am unironically of the opinion this was written by like the 2 guys left in charge of 10th edition while everyone else is working on 11th stuff and in the middle of codex design.
I hate saying this so much because, like, I am not a game designer, but like, I think we could have done better, and that's what really upset. Is that that's kind of upsets me? Like, it upsets me because like I can immediately look in this and look at like Tyranids and know that there's a lot of things in here that are not pointed as they should be and deserve 10 to 15 drops on them.
As someone who cares a lot about game design specifically from a business standpoint and like doing it for real and not for fun, yes, we as fans of this game could do better than this right now.
This one, I'm referring to this one,
this specific
specifically.
one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not in general.
But my problem with that is I am very much seriously of the mind of the vast majority of the team had no part in this. They are legitimately in the middle of next edition. You have to remember, from a sheer manufacturing standpoint, the 11th edition core rules books are already printed. We are partway through the edition right now on the back end. Like, they're in the middle of codex crunch, figuring out all the different codices, play testing them against each other to hopefully have some balance. Haha, I know. That's where the majority of thought is right now. And it's like, you just have to deal with that fact when you are doing this. Is like, I have to have some people doing some upkeep on the game right now, like just doing some balance fixes. And the majority of my stuff is trying to whip up the new thing that everyone is going to actually pay us for. So I get that problem. And that's why I can both say, like, yes, we could do better than this, but I don't blame GW that much for the fact. I understand the dev team. It's not like, oh my God, this is the best the 40K dev team can do. This is what they did with the resource time they had.
Yeah.
I don't know how bad it is on their end of things. Like, I highly doubt you're going to find out a lot of designers dealt with this. It's going to be like, don't fuck anything up. We got 2 of you to write this thing. Go out there, figure out what's meta, knock 10 points on those models, call it a day, find some stuff that everyone's complaining about, FAQ a couple rules, call it good, lock it up, get the fuck back to work on Codex Necrons.
See, I get what you're saying, and don't get me wrong, I'm very much someone who tries to come to the defense of like the people who make the stuff 100%.
I do have to watch your High Guard video.
You're gonna have a great time with that one. They kicking my ass in the DMs there. they kicking the shit out of me in those DMs.
Yeah.
But no, unironically, I just feel though, even with that statement, you can go through a pass of this as if there are people who like play the game and stuff like that. Like, obviously, they know more than we do. There is a clear amount of stuff that should have been touched that were not.
I agree.
Clearly. And so like that's why this one just feels so anemic.
Yeah, I just always want to point out before people get like bloodshot eyes in rage, this is someone's job. It is very possible they got direction
Oh,
of
yeah.
don't touch too much.
Oh, almost certainly.
Make this as minimal as possible and get the fuck back to work on what I need you on. The real day job angle.
Oh, see, I agree with that. I blame higher ups.
Yeah, we can always blame management. As a useless scum-sucking manager myself, we can blame management all day instead of the devs.
And like that's kind of the thing there is like, Brad, you're defending them on like, yeah, there's only so many resources, but also they make a shitload of money. They could hire a dedicated resource for something like this. They won't,
I won't disagree on that angle.
but they could. So that it like it's one of those like, yeah, they could do that and they probably should.
If we want to pile on management decisions, let's fucking go, baby.
Yeah, I mean, I do feel like there almost certainly was like a don't do big changes, don't fuck this up, because like the balance has got a few problems, but like we're close enough to the end of the edition, don't fuck things up is like that's what you need to make sure when you do this balance at the end here. And I mean, I'm not a big fan of that as the like design intent, but
From a player standpoint, that's unexciting.
yeah, that direction is not bring joy from a player perspective, but it makes sense why it happened.
All right, that's it for the Balance Data Slate. We've slaughtered it enough. It is time for us to get out of here for the week. But before we go, huge shout out to our patrons. It has been quite the month over here at Solely Singleton. Let's not talk about how much I have spent on repairs this month.
Cars, garages.
So I really do want to shout out as we leave here all of our producers who keep the lights on around here. They are A Speedy Freak,
Aetherian laughing at the Emperor's golden thighs.
Armand's Big Naturals,
Ava Tech Adept.
Batrid Kurz,
Breaking news. 500 Custodian Guard.
C5 Dynamite,
Certified Pegstar.
Charles Lang, I love you even more for getting my last name right,
Corvus.
Demolition Man,
Downloading a picture on base book is draining our entire power supply.
Gilgamesh Versus,
Grant Yost.
Halo Gamer 2005,
Holy shit, I thought the Baneblade wasn't going to be finished.
Huge Axeman,
Yawn Guy C.
Kiwi Fruitbird,
Le Bloop Bloop.
Loaf of Disappointment,
Me when I.
NJ Harlan.
Old World Smasher Pass when?
Didn't we say that on the last Smasher Pass? I think I said like 400, right?
300, 400, something like that.
Something like that. Pizza 00100.
Poor Hammer's slightly disturbing obsession with horses.
That's just Eric. RoboHap.
Sam Brown.
Scott the Jim Crab, Mr. Festastic.
That Mighty.
The fucking God Emperor of Mankind.
The Terrible Toledo Tickler.
Victorian Batman.
And Wargame Simulator. Thank you so much for supporting the show.
And if you would like to join them and great patrons like Brad, my dad hit me because of you. I wish he hit you more, bud. Then you can join them over at patreon.com/solely-singleton. Please, I don't want to get into it. It'll be in a bonus content.
What the hell happened to the guy whose buggy blew up? Like the buggy story.
I don't know. It's been a while since they updated the story. I think they just went back to a normal name.
That's so unfortunate.
Yeah, don't forget we've got merch. Poorhammer.com.
Buy the merch.
And other than that, please, YouTube pleasantries, please thank Borrelio this week. Also, check if you're subscribed, all that garbage, but please thank Borrelio. He rushes this stuff out for you guys.
Thanks, Bricky, for joining us.
Yeah, always. Thanks for making it quick.
All right, let's get out of here.
Sounds good.